if the child has fever, take this medicine. If he has this problem, do this. If he's vomiting, try this. If this doesn't subside, then go to the doctor. So I'm trying to talk slightly differently. Can't we use the same concept of paramedic or similar thing in healthcare? Why are we not using it? So it's a thought to the thought leaders sitting here, which I think possibly is not really my area, but then some of the thought leaders, as to how do we bring in the concept production line of load balancing. These are the techniques which are used world across in every industry for productivity. So why are we not using these techniques in healthcare to get what are some of the Millennium Goals that we've been talking about? So coming back to the second point, something on the point of care. Okay. So let's see, what is the point of care that we're talking about? We're talking about point of care, which could be home. With the growing population, can I bring my old mother-in-law every day to hospital for the care? No, I can't. It's very difficult. If I start bringing her home to hospital every day for the care that she needs, possibly I can't even come to hospital for work. That's my personal opinion. So can I give something, and using ICT, so that she gets the care at home? And only once in a while she comes to the hospital. Next, even the hospitals. Can we provide something using ICT so that actually the care comes to every bed of the hospital faster? Let me talk about clinics. And Sir was talking about a large number of clinics which could open across in the hospitals. Believe me, ICT is the solution to be able to help there. Because let me give you an example of, I'm sure there's some private practitioners sitting here. Suppose I was a doctor and there's a patient who visits me and says, get the X-ray done, or get CT done, or get MRI done. Now, typically the result takes 2 days for him to start the next step of treatment. Is that right? If I'm a private practitioner sitting in and I'm a very good private practitioner, but I may not have all facilities of X-ray, CT, advanced diagnostic, typically it takes me 2 days to really start the treatment on a patient, because by the time I get the reports from the hospital, it takes me 2 days. Can ICT help in reducing that TAT to 1 hour? It can. Okay. So let me give you an example of, I've been talking about only these things, but how can it happen? Something which we've done in a hospital. So let's take a case of Sanjeev, who refers a CT to a patient, and that patient comes to a hospital for doing it. And I'm not talking about really, these things about the hospital, but I'm talking about ICT, how ICT can help. The patient gets an X-ray or a CT done. The image goes immediately to a PACS. From PACS, via a secure way, it's transmitted on his machine, mobile, or iPad, or iPhone, or the PC. It's a reality that we're using today, by the way. I have some of my referring physicians who actually can get the images immediately as they're done in the hospital. So that's what we've actually implemented. But that's something which ICT can do. What has ICT done here? ICT has enabled you to reduce the 2 days which was there to start the treatment. Okay, so one is that somebody goes, rushes for the image to come in and get the thing, and the patient, everybody is rushing around the city on the busy roads to get things. The second could be that you actually use ICT to push the reports to Dr. Sanjeev, who actually looks at the X-ray and works on it. So that's how you're reducing the TAT. Last year, we had so much of dengue cases in the hospital. Our hospital, and I'm sure all the hospitals in Delhi, everybody in Delhi faced, that dengue crisis. It so happens that in my personal case also, my daughter was running fever, so I was scared that she has dengue, so I got the test done. But even though I was working in the hospital, the earliest that I got the report was 7 o'clock. So the first thing which I wanted, that's the time it takes to get the report. But in my case, I could call up the doctor and say, look, doctor, this is the parameters. Does she have dengue or not? So I was told it's not. But let's look at a large number of people who are there across. How can they know that the patient has dengue or not to start the treatment at that time? Okay. So what we've done is we've actually got ICT to help them, that if Sanjeev has that, Sanjeev actually can get all the lab reports for a patient that you're looking for on your mobile, okay, to start the treatment at that time. Another productivity tool is what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is ICT, but let me tell you what has gone in to do this. is not as simple as just Sanjeev getting the reports on his mobile. Because if I'm doing it for Sanjeev, I need to do it for all clinicians across. So what it goes in is, all reports are done by the bidirectional lab analyzer, goes into the lab, goes into the central database, is pushed in a secure way to the doctor who's a treating doctor. And it could be Sanjeev, it could be Sanjeev 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and so on and so forth, right? So that is what it takes. But ICT can enable it. It's happening. It's working. So just an example of how it can happen. Let me give you some more cases on healthcare, which is at home. Okay, this is my thought, and I'm trying to work with some of the companies, which are the companies like the telecommunication companies. But if I get help from here, that will be still better. Worldwide, we all talking about 3G and everything, right? Most of us have a dish TV at home, right? What does dish TV mean? Dish TV means you actually have a link of that company at your house, whether it's a Reliance or a Bharti or a Dish TV or a Tata Sky or whatever. So you actually have an internet link coming at your house. Can that be used to transmit something like ECG, which can be done at home now these days, or your diagnostics, or status of the patient, and so on and so forth? So I'm not even talking about 3G in the air. I'm talking about a link which is at your home. And can you do video calls, from home doing that? So I'm talking about something which needs to change, and I'm pretty sure within a year we'll see a lot of things changing, to help a patient who is at home actually to do it. So I gave an example of point of care, which could be hospital. I'm talking about, spoke about clinic, which could be not only, say, the hospital chain clinic, it could be any clinic. Spoke about home, remote, of course, could be similar. Teleradiology, we all been speaking about teleradiology, but I think we've currently reached a stage that, with the connectivity, at least that we have, we're going to start down that if imaging is done at, say, a Bhatinda, we should be able to do reporting from Delhi. So that's what we're trying to work on. And that's a reality which is possible. But there is a lot, again, that goes from IT in that, which is connectivity, making sure everything comes together to put things together. So what I was talking about is, I think there are a lot, I think that's the way things are going to happen. There is need for clean data, yes, to make sure BI happens. But I think it is like chicken and egg kind of a situation, because unless people see the benefit of BI, people will not put the clean data. And unless the clean data goes in, you'll never get BI. So I think it possibly is going to take a little more time to evolve. But believe me, it doesn't happen in healthcare. It happens in every industry. Almost every industry faces and goes through this evolution process. It's happened in the auto industry. It's happened in other industries. And I'm sure it's good that it's happening in healthcare. So there's nothing to be sad about. I think the revolution's coming in. And I think we should be thinking positive rather than, it's really not garbage. I think what you showed us was wonderful data. And I think it's just a beginning, possibly. Happy to take questions. I don't want to spend too much time here. Yeah. Thank you.